Mastercard finally said something. Somebody finally said something at one of these big behind credit card companies. And what did they say? We ain't do it. It ain't our fault. Nope. We had no involvement into any of this. So come on, guys. This is Mastercard here, one of your most legendary stacked credit card companies for the consumer. You know, right there with Visa. You know, we will never betray you like this. We don't have any involvement into anything. While also forgetting the fact that, you know, specifically Steam did say, you know, the payment processors, which would be also you and Visa, and also at the very same time, Japan would like to have a word with you with how many times you had taken down like their dating sites, with how many different dojin sites you took down, Manga Z, and all these other websites that exist over there. You know, how many times have you went out your way to ban certain products, or at least halt certain products like anime figures to be, you know, halted when it comes down to it. There is so much nonsense that these credit card companies has done, effectively trying to, you know, F over a lot of people that's just into what they're into. And then the fact they have the balls to absolutely say, no, we didn't do it. We had no hands in it. We had nothing to do with it whatsoever. You must think this is a Gentai. You must think you in a train in a Gentai and you getting some cheeks, and for whatever reason no one's paying attention. No, buddy, we all see you. We all see you. You are harassing that woman, and we are all calling the Japanese authorities. That is essentially what we have here. You're thinking that you have no involvement here? Bullshit! Bull! We all see that, sir. We all see this. We've been seeing this for years. Anime fans especially. We've been seeing this for so many damn years, right? In Japan even more so, with how much nonsense you have dished out multiple different times to them. It's crazy. And you know what the crazier part is? I swear, if they act like this is actually genuinely the truth,
you should get some fucking enlightenment. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to eat. I like to eat. Give me a fucking break. How are you, Mr. High and fucking mighty with your big city ideas? Man, you come down my way and I will fuck you up, boy. Fuck you up proper.
especially with both companies involved. With the CEO that's like over in Japan, I think it was Visa Japan, I'm not necessarily sure, I forgot. But still, regardless, they're both basically in the same dang boat. There is no way you don't see what the other company's doing when it comes to that, how they run shit. Even if it's not necessarily you in particular, you know, you have not seen, don't act like you have not seen the bullshit the other company has done and see why people are mad. Because at the end of the day, you know exactly why people are mad. You know exactly what you need to do and how to change up the situation, not just for yourselves and for your company to get something better right now, but to do what you should have done and respect the people. Really give them what they want. Give us all what we basically want. The fact that we have to constantly deal with censorship on the back end of many different things because people just don't necessarily like the content within a certain piece of media is absolutely crazy. And to be honest, it's very much racist. Because again, there's always those projects that's like, oh yeah, if it's a Western project, you know, that will, you know, stay up and be allowed. You know, that's not going to necessarily get banned in any shape or form. It's perfectly fine. Everybody can basically get involved. But the moment you let a foreign sort of piece of media come through that's not harming anybody, that's not illegal or anything like that, now everybody basically want to start, you know, jamming their fists up someone's ass because they don't necessarily like the fact that another country is doing a bit better media than what our country can do. That's just how it is. That's what it seems like to me. That's kind of how a lot of debates usually be around that certain thing. But the fact that you have to say that, nah, we basically have no ties to it, we respect everybody, we basically give it into the hands of the damn, you know, like storefronts that hold these games, hold these animes and all that sort of stuff, cap. Absolute cap. Because if it was up to Steam, they would not be changing any rules. They wouldn't necessarily change anything of what they're doing right now, right? They wouldn't do any of this stuff, right? And if it was really the case, people like Collective Shout, as assholes as they are, should not have the power to be able to force credit card companies to enforce their censorship across the dang board, right? There is just absolutely no way that that should be the case. So whatever nonsense they're trying to feed people with this whole message, lies. Straight up booty cheek lies. And not the good booty cheeks. It's like some old, decrepit, old ass man booty cheeks. No one wants that. You do not want to have that. No one needs that. So, to be absolutely honest, they need to just straight up do what they need to do, reinforce themselves to figure things out in terms of how to serve the people better instead of trying to, ignore the problem or act like nothing is happening, because it is. Because until then, your phone lines ain't gonna stop blowing up, sir. Your phone lines are still gonna get blown up by a whole bunch of people that is very much aggravated and agitated about the whole situation, and your employees is gonna basically want to shake their fists at you while also having a lead pipe in their hand. Like, bitch, if you don't reverse these changes, dear gosh, let me work in peace. Literally, that is just how it is. So people, do not let off the pressure, because they sure as hell ain't give us the answer that we don't really care for. They gave us an answer we don't care for. We need an answer that actually solves a problem, and not just give us some actual action that's going to solve the problem for us when it comes down to it, and not make a damn compromise, because I'm so sick of compromises, which is what itch.io basically made recently. Because at the end of the day, yes, they brought back the free games, but that still doesn't solve the problem. That is not worth celebrating for. It's not only worth celebrating for until they actually figure out what they can do to find alternatives and figure out the exact way of how to, make their site great like it used to be. That's the best way to go about that. Then we could all celebrate. It doesn't matter if it's the damn government, it doesn't matter if it's these social media sites, doesn't matter in general. They all basically are here for the censorship, and they want to censor your bitch ass when it comes down to it. And at the end of the day, what you really need to do, and continue to do until things actually effectively change, is to stand up, say, nah, that's some cap right there, this is crap-a-doodle-doo, and actually do something about it to make these changes go away, to make this stuff not necessarily something that needs to be happening. Because I'm gonna be real, any asshole company, realistically, any asshole company that's out here trying to, especially in the United States and really in their own countries, trying to enforce like some type of verification and things like that, is absolutely 100% unnecessary. The UK somehow have the laws to do that, then fine, do that for the UK. Don't do this shit for us when we don't give a damn and we ain't really involved in any of this shit, and you shouldn't be involved in any of that shit either. Because like, the more I think about it, the more I really think about how, in a few days or a week or so, YouTube is gonna now implement the whole age ID verification thing for the AI and all that sort of stuff. The more I think about it, the more dumb it just sounds to me, right? It was already dumb, but it gets even more dumber as time kind of goes on. Like, you want to do this whole verification thing, but also at the same time have a shitty AI system that does not work in general. 2, you implement this, but then you don't want to fix your own damn platform for a lot of other reasons, which is something that people have been asking for literal years, like getting rid of bot accounts that be, spamming up the comments, actually like letting the monetization be better here, not be so easily triggered when it comes down to limited ads on videos. Like, there's tons of things that you can absolutely do, and yet for whatever reason YouTube just does not necessarily do it. Like, if we were to take some of that pressure from the same amount of pressure we have for these, governments and, these credit card companies, and put it on to you, you wouldn't like that shit one bit. But at the very same time, maybe that sort of thing is needed. It's only going to come down to whether or not people is actually going to, hard focus and hard aim to do that to YouTube, which would be a shame if people just let that go. I hope not, but it's going to be, a damn shame that happens, because this is basically the future that we're heading towards. I know a lot of people have said in multiple different videos across YouTube, just talking about this entire topic, saying that it's dystopian, and I've never really said it, so I'll say it now. Yes, very much so. This shit is mad dystopian. This shit is mad weird, right? Every single time we just enter more so into the future, we keep getting hit with a lot of weird shit that they want to push in, say that this is normal, and then we're supposed to accept it like for what it is. That's dumb. Like, that is super dumb. That is why I am so glad, after watching like a Demion's video talking about this a little bit more today, that there is people within the administration of the current president that actually is planning to like sue Ofcom, which is also a big part of the reason why a lot of this stuff is happening. I think there's like a UK government office. I think it's like the Office of Communications or whatever. And if you haven't seen Demion's video on that, please go watch it, because that explains it way better than ever I could possibly do so. But they have a huge hand in it, and if you just look into it yourself, especially when it ties into YouTube, you can also kind of see that I think, and I want to say, Ofcom might be pissed at YouTube too, because they don't necessarily like that YouTube is just the main place where people is getting all their entertainment and all their streaming and all their, you know, television services, where old TV services are getting washed out and, you know, not necessarily used too much anymore and all that sort of stuff. And they kind of hate that. From what it seems like, from what I read in different articles, it seems like they very much don't like that. And so maybe part of the reason why they want to try to go ahead and throw out so much pressure to these different companies and to these different people in America is because they don't like that sort of thing, especially on YouTube sort of side. And maybe that's the reason why the age verification thing, it, you know, it's kind of existing the way it is. And if that is the case, YouTube, you have got to stop being bitch made for 5 seconds. You have got to be kidding me when it comes down to it. There is no effing reason for anybody and anything to come through to absolutely get slapped with these, you know, age verifications. Because again, you can take the information and do whatever the jolly hell you want to with it. You can very much sell it off to third-party companies in secret. You can very much do whatever the hell you want to. You can sign somebody up with an OnlyFans, because that's just how you just basically want to do with certain things. That's literally how it is, right? It may be some ridiculous sounding shit, but at the end of the day, this is basically the front line and the ultimate line of how things are. They will take your identification, people will go ahead and use it for whatever the hell you want to, especially since they're third-party companies. That's not really a first-party company by the government itself, and even the government will use whatever the hell they want to when it comes to you, but they already have our information pretty damn much, so I don't see why they need more information, which is weird. But still, nonetheless, these third-party companies are effectively, if they get your information, kind of high-key sort of lawless, if I'm gonna be honest. I feel like with the credit card companies, the UK and the governments all in general, I know a lot of people compare this to like Shimoneta and just how that world is and what they're trying to do for everybody in this world, but I feel like that could also be done with Nukitashi as well when it comes down to that show, because it's like they're basically the anti-copulation gang and all that sort of stuff, except no one wants to F with them, shutting down all the cool shit that we have out here, the finest hoes of the land that is just here for the free F, because that's just how it is, and we all want to beat their ass. That's just essentially how it feels when it comes down to it. We all trying to get the free effing of all the good sheiks that we can, all the niceness of everything that we want to have, and then ultimately they come through talking about some stop, you violated the law, and then we all kind of jumped on like it's some JoJo type beat. It is what it is. My point is though, essentially, and it will always be the point of these videos, and it's really going to be a point until the changes are made and things aren't going to get so screwy as it currently is. Keep putting up pressure to these companies, whether it's YouTube with its weird ass AI, you know, verification with age and whatever that they're trying to push forward. Shut that shit down before it even gets started. Whether it's these credit card companies and how they're trying to go about certain things, talking about some, oh, we didn't have a hand in it, with a bullshit, you've been doing this shit for years, you ain't fooling no damn body, especially not no anime fans. When it comes down to the governments, do not let them get your shit. Just do not. They have your information already. Whatever information you already have, they probably already have it. Why the hell do they need extra shit? Why do they need to basically go out their way to, you know, invade your private life when it comes down to it? What if one day you decide to have a conversation with somebody, maybe you say something that somebody don't like at these credit card companies, or, you know, the government doesn't like, and boom, they try to arrest you, or they try to revoke your credit cards or whatever, or they try try to revoke basically everything there is to really go get that you can go get when it comes to you, because they said something that you didn't like. That's the reason why people are pissed off at Collective Shout and for starting this whole nonsense, at least publicly starting this whole nonsense in a hard ass way that this whole thing started. But essentially, this is just something that cannot stand. Again, fight for your rights. This shit should not fly, and if you're absolutely, tired of it, then pressure them harder so we can get over this whole damn thing when it comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, no one should shut up about this. No one should stop talking about this. No one should be, satisfied with a small little victory or anything like this until actual change is actually made. That is literally how it is. That is literally how it should be. Do not give up this fight, because the moment you give up this fight, or you start to forget, or you don't care anymore, that's when they about to whoop your ass, and then they about to take a whole ass anal bead and shove it up in there, and you're basically their bitch. Do you want to be their bitch? I don't think you do. And all I got to say also, I guess too, is if you're somebody that's looking for alternatives, and you are very much here for the alternative sort of like options that is out there, if you want to get people on your side, this is the time for you to do it. Like, whether it's like a second YouTube or whatever, this is the time for you to do it. Whether it's basically like, a credit card, this is also the time for you to launch that thing. Because at the end of the day, if you get an alternative, you're getting probably good people coming through, wanting to do business with you, dividends, all that sort of stuff. If you keep your word and not censor people, you'll be flipping great. I think you'll be fine at this point. This will be the perfect point in time and period for any of that stuff to really happen. So if you got anything in the bank right now that you may be waiting in reserve, use that shit. Do that shit now, because I don't know, you might miss an opportunity. This might be a perfect time for you. But that's, again, really all I want to say. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Also, if you'd like to donate to this channel, please do with the Kofi that is going to be in the comments below. It's very much appreciated when anybody does help when it comes down to it. Help is very much needed, and don't think I take it for granted, because I really do appreciate you for everything that you do if you decide to help out, and just you in general for just even watching this damn video. But essentially, hopefully you still enjoyed, and until then, this has been your boy Jay, signed off. Have a blessed day.